In this video, I'm going to give you some quick tips on to make your documents compliant. The type of documents I'm talking about are Word, Blackboard pages, PowerPoint presentations, videos, objects, PDF files. When you're making any kind of document, a couple of simple rules to follow is make sure that your text is a minimum of font size of 12 or higher. It is recommended that you use sans serif fonts like Arial, Tahoma, and Calibri. Try to stay away from using Times New Roman, Baskerville, and Book Antiqua, which are serif fonts. Using colors and accents. Try not to overuse colors. It can be distracting to some students. Don't use red and green on the same page. Avoid using underline unless it is a link. Don't use bold just to accent text. You really should be using styles instead. Creating lists, they should be set up as a bolded list or a numbered list. And when asking students to print documents, they should be offered in a Word or a PDF format because Blackboard has some problems with printing out pages. It makes it easier if you can give them documents to work with. Pages with headings should be set up as a heading style, either in Blackboard or in Word. Just making text bold is not making it compliant. Images and hyperlinks, all these objects require alt text, and you should have a title and a description within the alternate text. Some screen readers read the title, some read the description, so you must include both. Hyperlinks, depending on whether you're offering an electronic version or a hard copy, an actual piece of paper that you're handing out to them, will make a difference on how you set up hyperlinks. An electronic version should actually show the text of where they're linking to. So for Niagara County Community College, we should actually see the text. We should not be using the URL for the electronic version. And a handout, if you must include the URL, they actually recommend converting it to a tiny URL to make it smaller and easier to read. For tables. Tables cannot be made compliant in Blackboard, so if you're going to use a table, you must use a Word document. To make a table accessible in Word, you have to have alt text. So you have to set up a title and a description in the alt text area. You want to select the first row and tell it to repeat that to be printed. And don't leave blank rows in a table. Some screen readers will stop reading if they hit a blank row. Change the row height if you want to separate the text in the table. Videos. You must include either closed caption or transcripts. It's not required to have both. It is recommended to have both if you can offer them. Okay. If you can only offer one, it is recommended to use the sync closed caption with the videos. PowerPoints. You're going to use all the same requirements as you did for the documents, but your font sizes should be a minimum of a size 16 or larger. You also need to use the layouts provided by PowerPoint. If you try to use or add extra things to a slide, the screen readers might not read it very well. Okay. When you offer a PowerPoint, you should also offer it in a PDF file format as well. If you narrate a PowerPoint, you want to make sure that you either include transcripts or create a video out of it and upload it to YouTube, and you can create closed captions for it that way. Third-party content. When you're using third-party content, whether it be MyLabs or SAM or a website that you're sending your students out to, you need to make sure that that location is accessible. If it's not accessible, you're required to have another option available to students to complete the work that they normally would do out in those sites that has an accessible component to it. When you convert to a PDF, you want to make sure that when you're taking Word or PowerPoint, that you also offer them a PDF file format. And when you save it in the PDF, you want to make sure that you go into the options and change it to tell it to have tabs to make it accessible. Okay. When you're creating an accessible PDF, if you have an accessible Word file, an Excel, PowerPoints, any of those files that have already been set up and are accessible, as long as you save it with the tags options on, it should create a accessible PDF with very little work. Handwritten pages. If you handwrite information on a piece of paper and scan it in, it is not going to be an accessible PDF. I know that some people will write out equations and they'll scan that in and offer that as a PDF to students, and it really needs to be typed into a word processor and made compliant to have it as an accessible PDF. If you need help with any of these things, you want to make sure that you go to our Faculty Support Center blog at nccelearning.com, or if you're an NCCC member, you can go to our NCCC e-learning faculty user group, and there's a section in there for compliance. Thank you.